Good day, everybody. Greg here, the Extreme, your local, I guess, white trash, redneck, do-it-yourselfer. Today I'm here to show you another form of do-it-yourself roller furley for under $20. Everything can be bought at Lowe's. I did, and I'll show you today how I made a nice roller furley. Purpose of this is I'm getting ready to go on a worldwide sailing adventure, trying to break 3 world records for the smallest sailboat to solo circumnavigate the Earth. And to do so, I'm going to need certain equipment. And on top of everything, I'm extremely cheap. So I'm not into paying high dollar for anything that I could possibly make myself. So I showed you one out of PVC just to show you that it could be made cheaply and easily. And it's a good one. It would work in day sailors, probably anything up to a good 30 feet, actually. What I'm making today is a more rigid. It's going to be made out of steel and same basic design, but it's probably good for a 30-40 foot vessel as well. And when it's all said and done, when you paint up the outside coverings, it will look and act and work just like every other $500+ roller furley that you have there. But the difference is you're going to pay $20. You're going to spend about 2 hours of your life, and you're going to make one that will last for years and years to come and will work just like the big boys. So let's get started. For today, what we're going to need is just a few simple things. You got some basic hand tools. You've got some nuts and bolts and tightening that you're going to have to do. So, and we'll be using basic hardware. I'm personally using 5/16, 2.5 inch long eyelets. 5/16 will give me the stability. You will need 8 5/16 common washers. You will need 4 5/16 regular bolts. You will need 2 5/16 locking bolts, and you will need 2 oversized washers, as well as 2 PVC 3-inch caps. Okay, 3-inch caps. You will need 2 1.5 inch. You can change that sizing, bigger, smaller if you need be, but I'm going with 1.5 inch caps, galvanized caps, and 1.5 inch by 2.5 inch piece of galvanized nipple. You will need a 3-inch test cap that will act as your spool. And for today's purpose, I'm just using about 5 feet of rope, so you can see that it works. It will work a lot better once it's under tension and you have your normal sailboat rope putting it in. Alright, first thing I can say about this is there's a lot of imperfections in your caps. So what I had to do was first I had to Dremel tool out the inside to where I'd be a little bit smoother and straighter on the bottom, and I had to actually grind down the top to give me a nice flat surface on the top of my galvanized pipes. And just for giggles, I went ahead and grinded down the top of my PVC cap as well. So did both of the galvanized pipes, as you see. So first of all, let me say once again, I cannot say this enough. Center is going to be your key. So make sure you get a good center hole, because that is very important to how well it sits in. I oversized my hole, so I have a little bit of adjustment because everything nowadays is so imperfect being machine made. So be sure that you get centers on all your caps. So you're going to want to center here on this cap. You do that for both caps. Now the top cap, you're going to have one hole, and that's just your hole for your 5/16 or whatever size bolts you're going to put through. Just one on that one. On the bottom cap, however, you're going to have one in the center, 3 5/16, and then 4 small drain holes, as well as about a 1/2 inch hole on the side for your furley rope to go in and out of. And I'm going to bevel that just a little bit. You can get all high tech and go grommet, find a rubber grommet to fit in there, and it'll be just fine. There's all kinds of things you do. I'm going to keep it pretty much basic because mine's for functionality, not as much looks. And when it's all said and done, these caps will be covering just like every other cap on a roller furley. So you can paint them up chrome, any other color you want. Nobody's ever going to know the difference, especially from afar. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. I've pre-drilled all my holes, so they just can keep moving. So we're going to remove the tape here and start building this. So this is my top cap. Like I said, one hole only. So let's get started here. So first of all, we get our eyelet. We want to take our eyelet. We want to put a common washer on a bolt here. Wish I could sing for y'all, but you really wouldn't want that. That would make y'all run faster than you might already be running. So I'm just going to run this bolt all the way down. Get a couple threads so we get some adjustment. Put your 5/16 regular washer on, 5/16 oversized washer on. Stick it through that hole. Then you're going to grab your other 5/16 common washer. Put it down in there. And our 5/16 common bolt. And run these all the way down. Getting it nice and center, which will save you a lot of trouble later. Run that all the way down in there. Under those imperfections we spoke about. So let's look through all those. Alright, I got her here. Should be about center. Looking pretty close. Alright, so tighten it all the way down. Inside there. On the outside here. And the reason why you left yourself some adjustment room is because down the road, if you have to adjust this over a little bit or what have you, you can use that top nut once it's all locked into place. Got to be super tight though, because that is what's going to be inevitably how you lock your top cap down. So that's what the inside looks like. There's what your outside looks like. That's our top cap. So now we're going to take our piece of cap here, and we can take 3 little washers and put them on top. That washer will give you the space in between your 2 caps, which keep any imperfections and also makes it where you can have that in a little better shape. So find your best spot where it looks the most center. Once again, you're centering all this off. If you've got perfection going on, you're already centering. You don't have to worry about it. So then we use our last 5/16 washer and our last one of our 5/16 locking nuts. We're going to lock this cap down. We're going to lock it completely down. Don't play. Once again, you want tight. You want it so tight you wonder if you're ever going to get it loose again. Tight. So put that all down, and the other reason of using that locking washer is for that reason as well. So that it's exactly, it goes in and it doesn't undo itself. You don't have to worry about that part ever again. So make sure it's good and tight here. Tight and center. Tight and center. That's, you hear a lot from me today. Tight and center. It's got to be tight. It's got to be center. Those are the 2 rules. It's got to be tight. It's got to be center. So I'm using the backing nut here. Tight everything way down. Like I said, make you wonder if you're ever going to get it loose tight. So that is our top. We have our eyelet. Top. It's all locked down tight. Got our top cap sitting inside there. Alright, let's go ahead and build our bottom here. So, cut our 4 holes, drainage, and our 1 hole for our top there for our bolt to go through, and our guide hole on the side over here so we have something for our furley rope to go in. And now you're just going to repeat, rinse and repeat what you did the first time. You're going to put the bolt on, and then we're going to put the washers on, threads, put a small washer on, big washer on, put it through said hole. Same thing on the other side, small washer, keeping everything centered. 5/16 common bolt or nut. Center everything up nicely, and once again, lock it down. Center and lock it down. So, get our backup wrench on a nut over here. Pliers here to get down inside the long nut. We want that as tight as possible so you don't ever have to worry about it coming loose. Alright, so we got that good and tight.